Now, here you go. There's Elon, right? There's Elon Musk. There you go, buddy. There you go.
Elon right there. Okay, Elon Musk. There you go, buddy.
And then Zaybud. Me and Skip were talking about Zaybud being the king's bud recently.
Name appears. Azariah, the son of Nathan, over the officers, and I like this one. Zabud,
2 days ago,
son of Nathan, a priest, and the king's friend.
June 6th.
Every king needs a friend.
Yeah, I mean, that's a month ago, but I just showed it. So the theme is bud, buddy, bud, having a real friend. And everything you're seeing here is before, and then here's going into the future, and the future, and the future, and the future. Going up, 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 up. And then now Jonathan Click is talking about, why Elon Musk, what he's doing. Is why Elon is wanting the Baphomet stuff, armor. Let me just show you this real quick. Position of Nut, Newt, the mother goddess of their system that turns all of us upside down. Elon, right there. There you go, buddy. Okay, now here you go. There's Elon, right? There you go, buddy. So there's Buddy.
And what a great job. He's sort of like the personal advisor and personal chaplain to the king. And who are you? I'm Zabud. What do you do? I'm a bud of the king. I'm the king's bud. I'm the king's bud. I'm his friend. That's what I do.
Okay, so you see what's on his chest right there? Baphomet. See it? See the upside down cross? See Baphomet? 5-pointed star upside down, goat, and he's at whatever, Heidi Klum. You see him doing the muscle man thing. All he's doing is enacting Nut. And I've seen other guys do it. You saw it in the Ian Bud Light commercial. There it is.
On the show, I talked about how it seemed like Elon was maybe encouraging me a little bit because I was tweeting out and talking about He-Man a lot, and then out of the blue, he tweets out He-Man, and I thought that was strange because, of course, I've been talking about He-Man now for a couple of weeks, and then out of the blue on June 4th, he tweets out He-Man, which...
That reminds me of this. That reminds me of your tweet earlier, Jacob, at 9:46 a.m., June 6th. Today's June 6th, 2023. And I seen that. I just happened to take it at 10:10. Jacob Israel 71 tweeted, "Future is so bright, you gotta wear shades." June 6, 2023, 9:46 a.m. Prior to that, yesterday, which was a day ago, it was June 5th. What happened on June 5th on Paul Begley's channel, The Middle East New World Order, which was clearly the day before Jacob Israel tweeted out, "Future so bright, gotta wear shades."
Playing it, or is a lot of what you see because it has
happened.
You'll be shocked.
So Robin's Hood says, here's what I say. I say, no, Jim. Paul's future is so bright, he has to wear Vlad eyewear shades. So it's the same thing that Elon Musk does with Jacob Israel does to me. So at some point, Elon Musk just needs to admit he watches Jacob Israel every single day. It's his top priority to find out what Jacob Israel's saying because he's taking Jacob Israel's influence as the uh, the Pharaoh. And so he takes his advice. He watches his show every day. He hasn't commented on Jacob's channel yet, but Jacob Israel has commented on my channel. So he made it clear that he watches me. He said it. I've been good to you over the years. I've, reciprocated it, even though I didn't know truly that that's really what it was. Even if it's like testing, it's still being good to me because in the end, I'm going to learn my lesson. So, yeah, no, Jim. The reason why I said that is because Miss ZD, the moderator with the wrench crack it over your head, says, Jim, his eyes is sensitive to light. Let's not be rude about Pastor Shade's vampire glasses. At least he's coming out of the darkness and into the light. He just has to wear flat eyewear. And so that's why I said that future's so bright that he has to wear flat eyewear. Clearly on June 5th, 2023. And then clearly on June 6th, the very next day. Jacob, when are you just going to admit the same thing that I'm asking Elon Musk to admit to you? When are you going to fall in line with Elon Musk? What I'm asking him to do. Elon, just come clean. Just say who influences you the most out of everybody on the planet. RT. Schellenberg Air Force veteran says U.S. government retrieved alien space force and hid it. There's a sophisticated disinformation, probably campaign. So isn't that unusual? Jacob Israel talks about Elon Musk. Obviously there's no question Elon Musk is watching Jacob Israel's every one of his videos, because all he has to do is just push the button and it downloads an entire hour's worth of Jacob Israel in a nanosecond. He can go on about his business. He just learned everything from what he just said. And then same thing with Jacob. Same thing. He can just click, boom, my video gets downloaded and he goes on about his business. I influence what I can. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. It happens literally according to the positions of the people that are in charge and also in spirit. So what's happening with Jacob Israel, Elon Musk with Jacob Israel is the same thing that Jacob Israel is happening with Robin Henry Tees. So I'm also saying yesterday, Paul, when you gonna go on Jacob Israel's channel, huh? That was during the fallen angel habitation found in cave video.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie with Tom Hanks where he gets stranded on a deserted island. He's like living in caves like this here.
I don't remember what was I listening to today. Was it Paul Begley? Was it? I forget who it was, but he was talking about the other bones that were found they were less than 5 foot tall, about 100 pounds, and the face of Christopher Green's child, just saying he looks like me. He may be like 5 foot tall, not even 100 pounds. Could just be a mask of some sort, just like everybody else wearing a mask. Just an observation, conjecture. Maybe it's true, maybe it ain't. If it is, it counts for something. If it isn't, then it isn't. So obviously, I said that the future is so bright he has to wear flat eyewear. And considering Jacob Israel tweeted the same exact thing today, And then on top of that, Jacob was talking about Paul Begley and the ring that he has. It's a Masonic He-Man ring. There it is. Well, let's start. Let's start here. The poll, no. Well, first he's saying weirder is, I think big names are watching me, referring to Elon Musk. And I concur. I say the same thing. The big channels are watching. They have kind of lined up where I'll talk about something, then boom, Jacob Israel talks about the same thing. And then, he'll tweet out about it. He'll tweet out about the same thing. Is that what you mean, Jacob? Like you're talking about like where the same thing happens when you say something and they say something and they say something, but they're not actually giving the person credit for where they got the information from. And if you haven't noticed, or if anybody hasn't noticed throughout my 6 years, everybody that I get my information from, I give them credit. John from Denver, what do I give you credit for? Well, recently to XApp, and then recently Jonathan Kleck to go take a look at him. You just showed something about Tracy McGrady because that was one of the other accounts that asked me to do the same thing that you asked me to do at the same time. And then you show Tracy McGrady. His one eye is like over here a little bit. And then same thing with Jethro. So maybe that's what you're trying to tell me. I don't know. So yeah, Jacob, I hear what you're saying because I'm saying the same thing about you directly. And when are you just gonna come clean? When are you just gonna come clean? Well, I know why you won't, because if you say that, it's kind of like Jacob and the story in the Bible with Joseph showing favor. You don't want to do that because they'll throw me into a pit, even though I'm already in here. And it's the same thing with you. You don't want other people to. You don't want Elon Musk to say, "Oh, Jacob Israel is my most influential YouTuber," and I go by my life decisions goes by his encouragement. You don't want to say that because then you'll get the other people who are still possessed by the devil to be jealous and irritated because Joseph said that they're all going to bow down. But first before they do that, 7 years and 7 years and the fat cows and the thin cows and the corn on the cob and coming in the clouds, you have to see that first before it even registers as any kind of threat to your comfort zone of what you were used to because of the secrets that were kept secret until now. So that's what people got to deal with when it comes to that. So Paul Begley, June 5th, and I'll get to that in a minute. But to this devil, if you will, this troll right here, right? As weird as the fact that everybody thinks that he, old Trumpster, is Rumpelstiltskin, if you will, like Will.i.am. It's very strange. And if you look at the Shenandoah, take a look at the Shenandoah where this woman, this MAGA donor's daughter, was passed by. If you take a look at Shenandoah, this pole here, 15 minutes from my house, it looks like it's 7:30. Is that 7? If that was 6, 7. It looks like it's 7:30. This pole, so they're taking a pole. Right over here is Shenandoah. beyond this fence, Shenandoah Woods. Not over here. That's a neighborhood. But over here. Shenandoah is this right here. Maybe it's a spider, but it's all these houses. Over here. Here's Warminster Park. It's the same park I walked in and did sky opening and closing video, saying check out this screenery. So that's all Shenandoah. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 30, about 50, probably about 100 houses because they're twins. Shenandoah is right here. Wait, let's see if I can drop in. Can I drop in here? No, I can't fully drop in. But you get the point. You see these three. You see this pitchfork? When I did my video from right about here, maybe you'll start to question things yourself. This is for. So this is the same park, and this is the video. 521,000 views. November 9th, 2017. I'm saying May 14, 2018, 70 years have been determined. So, all right, well, what's happening next? That's over 5 years ago. And right here, there's the 3, but there's the 2. They added. For people who they added one. Questions about my mental state. Okay? Yeah, this is for you. You're batshit crazy, Robin. All right? So there you go. And over right to the... right here. Right where that fence is Shenandoah Woods. There it is. Shenandoah, Warminster, PA. There's two pictures. Shenandoah. Not sure. So that's the park. That's the park that I started looking up like Skywatch and saying, I don't know, something's just unusually off about the sky. And it's the same park where I seen that 5 years ago, December 20th, 2017. It's the same park. I went there again. 69,000 views. I'm seeing images like this, just sitting in the sky.
Hat on or something? Or that's just his head?
Weird hat, yeah.
You see his eye and his nose and his mouth open. And then the back of him looks like a freaking bird.
That's the Nikon P900.
Alrighty. These are literally the images in the sky.
So, needless to say, that's how I got people's attention who pay attention to the sky, or who know what's going on up there in the sky because you're part of creating the imagery up there. And then you see this, you see what I'm saying out of just starting, because this was the beginning. I was only up for about 8 months. December, yeah. So January, yeah, 8 months. January 2nd would have been 9 months. And Derek Rose appeared exactly right around this time. As a matter of fact, 11 days later, in 2017, December 31st, 2017. Senior Vice President, Worldwide Business Development, Paramount Pictures. And also partnerships, iTunes, Amazon, Walmart.
Not sure which one to get there, honey bun. Whether it's the red one or the black one.
It's when I started to learn about what gang stalking is, even though nobody paid, but I didn't really expect it. November 4th, 2017, Wall Fee Mart. So there they are, 1, 2, 3. This guy's just staring off into outer space.
What you got there, pal, huh? They're like all clogged up in one, man. They really think I'm stealing. Because I'm looking suspicious. I'm hungry like a wolf.
And that was November 4th, 2017. Prior to that, I went into McDonald's dressed as a wolf and ate my cheeseburger. And then I go here and I feel like I got a shout out in this video. This video was so far as 3.3 million views. It's the most views I've ever gotten on any video. And this is the one I have monetized that I probably made about 3,000 from it since I monetized it, which is a nice little bonus. So unresponsive, and ended up crashing into Shenandoah Valley. And it crashed Shenandoah Valley. The Shenandoah Valley, which is iconically, is connected to this. Sky open and closes. Check this screenery out. November 9th, 2017. And that's the same exact place that I just showed you. It's one of those things that is in reference to specifically me, and then Jacob Israel will specifically talk about it because he's talking directly about what I'm doing. Now, I know that to be a fact. He knows that to be a fact. Others who have eyes to see, ears to hear, you know it's true too. But it would be nice to have it confirmed. And it will be in the future when it is. But in the meantime, I have to just go about it as if it isn't. And I'm just talking out into the wind, sounding like a lunatic, thinking that everything I'm doing, the top most important people on the planet are paying attention to me. It's so ridiculous. It's just, who would ever even give you the time of day?
Gone over and checked out Robin's channel. Robin does some interesting work. He's followed me for a little while. He's had some things trying to figure me out, but I love him. He's a great guy. We got to talk on the phone. We've had a couple of different conversations.
Huh. So somebody that has Walmart partnerships, Senior Vice President, Worldwide Business Development of Paramount Pictures, which means like Hollywood movies, technological high-tech industries, said, hey, Robin, why don't you come on my channel, considering I started this channel here 9 months. It's like a birthing process. You started not on YouTube, then 9 months later. And then you had my back from years prior. And then I returned the favor by having you on my show. So, but years prior.
Date. and let you know that everybody is safe and everybody is
November
doing well.
30th, 2018.
And
You're
also,
cracking me up.
It's amazing just hearing from everybody today.
You were cracking me up at first, and then afterwards, it was a little bit too much. But the seventh trumpet is about to blow. So what I was saying was, well, it's this person. I don't understand lip sync. It's annoying. Yeah, it was cracking Derek Bros up at first. So I agree at the end. What I was saying was, hey, Derek, sorry it took so long to respond. I was pretty busy trying to find out who runs this planet so I can tell them what our Father said it would take place on this earth. Thanks for helping me get the message to the ends of earth. Now the world could end. See you in the new heavens and the new earth. So that was back on November 30th, 2018. And then December 12th, December 7th, no, 5th? December 5th, December 12th, and December 19th. I was invited on Derek's show. 3 weeks in a row. 3 Sabbaths in a row, I think it was. I think it was Saturday. And I didn't even know that you commented because it took me 2 years to respond.
So, so when you saw it, so what you're saying, you can't make this stuff up. You were. Let me see, who else do we have coming in here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect now. It looks like everything's working again, man. Good to see your face.
There was a hurricane. There was a Henry, a THIS Henry.
It's kind of funny because you see how this THIS Henry hurricane looks like a 6 and a 9. So isn't that strange? Isn't it strange how on my forehead the outline is a 6? And a 9. Just like hurricane, 6, 9, Henry, THIS, Robin, and Hurricane Grace. Hurricane Grace is Jacob Israel because Grace was heading towards Long Island. If you remember that hurricane that was, no, maybe it wasn't Grace that headed there, but at one point the hurricane went and turned in a different direction. Because even though I know that everything's controlled, I was praying out loud with Jacob for the hurricane not to hit Long Island, and it tapered off. So that's just another coincidence of things.
You focused on finding Enki and Enlil and Enoch and Elijah and you know, and you've discovered
12:12.
You know, and you've discovered some very realistic things. I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. I spent a lot of time focusing on Enki, Enlil, Enoch, and Elijah. And I come onto a Hollywood producer's show that invited me on, and I'm not an actor that I was aware of at the time. I'm not a Bible scholar. The only thing I really know about seed clouding is what I showed with the opening and closing of the sky, and check out this greenery back 5 years ago in Shenandoah, where the airplane just crashed that Jacob Israel's talking about, along with anything I say, I'm going to put my words in his mouth. It's really all that means. And I should be honored that even if Jacob never even mentions me publicly, I know he's consuming me. I'm being consumed, eaten. It's, it's my take this and eat of this. Take this fruit. So no matter what, I know where his attention is. But yeah, of course it would be nice to have a shout out like that, and the same way Derek Bros had invited me on and let me know the things that he appreciates.
We hear you perfect now.
Well, yeah, after a few years.
Things. You focus on finding Anki and Enlil and Enoch and Elijah and you've discovered some very realistic things. I'll just tell you.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's something. It's so strange that Weather Dude popped up my feed after Derek video, and you mentioned that Derek Love Truth Guy. There's definitely a resemblance, especially the voice. What's that? What a shy dork I am. Oh, because I showed you when I don't know where it's at. Somewhere in this video, I invited people on, I think, just through StreamYard.
Robin.net.
So, I mean, Jacob does it in his own way, which is quite obvious to me. And then that's what keeps me going with the communication when I didn't realize things would take so long. And I'm not really even sure how it's supposed to be in the end anyway. But I just keep going. And these little tidbits help. January 30th, 2021.
Robinette! This is like news! What are the chances?
Yeah.
What are the chances
What
of
are the
seeing
chances?
this and then
I've never heard of it.
Robinette. And then like right out.
And then Jonathan Click did it in his own way.
Those guys are in deep trouble. Sorry, Robinette and all you shills. You guys.
See, it says skills in this one, but the most recent one said shells. So is that a Mandela effect?
Deep trouble. Robinette. Sorry, Robinette. Sorry, Robinette.
That's okay, Jonathan Click. I accept your apology. What were you saying next about the shells, the skills, the shills?
And all you shills, you guys are in deep trouble. By the way, Robin, nerd. Yeah. Anyway.
So that was on leap year, February 29th, 2020. It could tie me into his birthday. Yeah, let me tie that into his birthday in the year 2020, March 16th, 2020.
This is one for the record.
Let's just get straight to the point right off the bat.
Back in, let's go down 3 years ago is when we began to talk about the asteroids, things like that. The meteorite belt being a larger concern than that of even Nibiru. One of the topics that we had covered here, this was on March the 16th, 2020. And I'm going to...
Today is Monday. Happy birthday,
March
Jonathan
16th,
Vargo Click.
2020.
Are you going to ring that bell or what?
As the bell rung in my...
It's 9:26 a.m.
The bell, he rung it at 2:26. And what had happened on the time when the bell rung is...
I think a lot of people will be surprised that the market dropped so sharply.
Look out for the older people in our home. Older might be a state of mind, not necessarily an age.
The sun's out. It's a nice, bright, sunshiny day. And
he is right.
I'm going to guess on the stock market today. And I'm going to say that it's going to go down 30 for the 21 days of Daniel. So next will be the 30, like 3,000. It needs to really tumble.
So for those
Friday.
If you watch what happened as the president was speaking and what he was saying, it's when he said that the outbreak could last until July or August. That's when the Dow.
So the words in the title of the World News is the Dow Jones tumbled 3,000 points. It tumbled. It says it tumbled. It said 3,000 points.
Dow kind of nosedive.
And it also said
second 9/11.
That didn't happen, but
I think a lot of people will be surprised that the market dropped.
Besides me,
so sharply.
Look out for the.
I wasn't surprised because what I was saying was
Next will be the 30. You know, like 3,000. It needs to really tumble.
This was on March the 16th, 2020. And I'm going to play a little clip in here of this video here. Because a lot of people felt like
a state of mind, not necessarily an age. So for those millennials of us who have parents who.
If you watch what happened as the president was speaking and what he was saying, it's when he.
By the way, it was the worst point loss in history. It's the first time I ever predicted the stock market in my life.
He said that the outbreak could last.
And it was on Jonathan Kleck's birthday. According to the one record, what the script is, Jonathan Kleck's birthday was 3/16/2023 because that's supposed to represent my only begotten son.
Until July or August, that's when the Dow.
But what had happened was I wished him a happy birthday in the morning.
Today is Monday. Happy birthday, Jonathan Vargo Kleck. Are you going to ring that bell or what? It's 9:26 a.m.
Stock market to tumble over 3,000 points today. I put it in my title. I didn't change the title. It's the same as it was because May 1st, World War III declared. That didn't happen. It's hot or cold, hit or miss. God told me that I'm glad that you're either hot or cold, Robin. Predicting it, being dead on, being dead off. Just keep going. Just don't worry about what people say about you. Just cause the earth to quake with asteroids to just pound the asteroids to just destroy the old system and make it tumble over 3,000 points today. Over 3,000 points today. March 16, 2020. It's 9:26 a.m. Clearly, it's during the day before the bell rang at 9:30 because the stock market bell rings at 9:30, and it was 9:26. And I had a thought. I think the stock market's going to. What'd you say?
You know, like 3,000. It needs to really tumble.
And then they, just like when you pointed at your hat, and Jacob Israel showed the very next day pointing at the hat that there's so much stuff I wish I didn't have to work for a living. I'd be able to put a lot more stuff together, but I'm in a hurry because I have to hurry up and go to bed to wake up and to go waste 10 more hours of my life. Tomorrow at work, 9/02/2023. They gave me a shout out just like they did with Shiloh at Robin Lane when I pointed at my hat the very day before. It's just faster for me to talk about it instead of going and showing it. Although I would love to show everything I'm talking about, but it just takes time. And I'm not retired yet, so I can't. But it did tumble, and it was 3,000 points exactly. And it was on Jonathan Kleck's birthday. And that ties into why I believe Israeli News Live. Steve Manoon is even talking about the very large asteroid impact 3 years ago in 2020 on 3/16.
Well, nothing ever happened. And of course, I began to think the same, other than I would be told that we do have, you have to keep in mind the Earth is, I think, 3/4 is water, and most of these meteorites that were hitting the Earth were hitting oceans, things of that nature. But what I didn't know is that we did have impacts on the Earth, very, very significant ones.
Kind of nosedived hundreds of points, and as he was talking, the closing bell rang, almost to a relief to everybody on the floor here of the New York Stock Exchange, because this is going to obviously hurt the economy much longer than everybody expected. I mean,
so if you take a look back, let's see, it was 3 years ago, began to talk about the asteroids, things like the meteor belt being a large concern, that of even Nibiru. One of the topics that we had covered here is on March the 16th, 2020. I'm going to play a little clip. So that's where as an editor, I play a clip I just showed you. I take screenshots because it's faster. While I'm at work, it's faster for me to screenshot instead of doing a timestamp as a playlist going over to Summer is Here, because I don't have any more playlists on Robin's Hood. I guess I ran out. I probably made about 10 million of them because all I did was just, timestamps, and it becomes a playlist for each one. So whatever my point was, I'm going to guess on the stock market today. And when someone talks about something, as AI would do, AI gives me the information, and I take your thought. I take your words, what you're saying, then I take an image, and I take the image and I plaster it in front of you to tell you what your thought was that you didn't say through the words that you did say. And so that's why I'm saying, it really needs to tumble. And then I'll show you, it was John Leclerc's birthday. Happy birthday, March 16th. That was my guess for today. Here's the evidence on 3/16/2020 that the Dow Jones tumbles 3,000 points, just as I predicted before. Now, mind you, I've gotten more predictions wrong than I've gotten right, just so you know. But that's being hot or cold. Just the fact that I was hot and I had the courage to just go ahead and say it creates a hot, dead-on prediction. If I don't say anything and I thought of it beforehand and it happens, then I would get pretty salty. So it was the worst point loss in history, and it was the first time I said anything out loud about the stock market. I think the only reason it went down 3,000 points is because I wished John Leclerc a happy birthday. I don't actually truly believe that I predicted it. I'm not even giving myself credit. I'm saying the masters of the universe went with what I said and was like, it's a good idea. Let's just do that. Because I don't think anybody can predict something like that and be so dead on accurate with zero information from anybody. It just doesn't, it's not, that would be like in Dreamland. But then again, Dreamland seems to be where I'm at. So a lot of people felt like, well, nothing happened and things of that nature. But I didn't know it was that we did have impacts on Earth, very, very significant ones that were being covered up by the local authorities in the YouTube platform to try to suppress that. So the world never knew about it. Never knew about it. Let me first play for you the clip that Robin just played. So this is when Robin injects his clip, March 16, 2020 video, because 10 days later, there's going to be an impact. There's probably a meeting 10 days later. And then that's when they started to pay attention to me a little bit more than before. He had his information at estimated time of 2023 as far as Planet X goes. So then I'll show you the X recorder, because that's the image when you say Planet X, I now go to the X recorder because I look at that as Planet X. So that's an image that I think that Steve Bannon is thinking in his head. And then that would mean that I'm reading his mind. Robin, your booking is confirmed. Your payment, 75th year anniversary. The Heart of Wildwood X recorder down here. So I'm just continuing on with what I think Steve Bannon's talking about, and then I give you the results of it. Bono is leaning to the side as if he's on a roller coaster. And it's exactly where I'm at the Wildwood roller coaster ride. It already looks like a great big fish, just like that. And it's finishing off the video of the wild horses, and then at Wildwood, and then the wild ride. There he is riding the roller coaster ride. So with that being stated, here was, like I said, it's March 16th, 2020. I'm talking about the asteroid belt in this video, where no one else will tell you, as in the title of it. So in my title that I think Steve Bannon's talking about, he wants me to show the title. My mind goes to the title. The Dow tumbles over 3,000 points, just as I predicted. 4 minutes before the bell rang, but that's not the actual title. The actual title in the video itself, predicting it, is Happy Birthday, Johnny. Stock markets tumble over 3,000 points. Hot and cold prediction in the same exact video. So think about how hot that prediction is, what it caused as like an asteroid hitting the Earth, and how cold this one is. You can say, yeah, but that one was cold. Yeah, it's hot, but this one's cold. Yeah, but that one was hot. So because I already said that one, I'm like, all right, well, I might as well make another prediction. I feel like I'm on a roll, so I can make more predictions. I should have just stopped. Scientists from university did determine that, yes, in fact, an asteroid that hit the ground. I'm going to play this clip here from a Skywatch. So then what I'll do is, with the media news, so that you can see what actually reported about this. And then, so I'll go over and I'll show you Skywatch, because Skywatch at 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Now, before that, you see the 96% match on my forehead, 96 hour. He recommended the X app. So I took his advice, went with the X app at 303. That's like Derek Rose's number. And that's with Christopher Green being an identical match to Marina Abramovic. And that's why I said I would meet Jonathan Click or Marina Abramovic down at Maury Pier when I went to Wildwood. And that's who I met. I met him. I believe I met the House of Judah and the House of Israel and Jacob Israel and Jonathan Click at the same time, with a piece of glass left on the beach. An accident waiting to happen to finish off the second portion of the video that apparently I created when I was about 8 years old. And that might as well be 100 percentile. Therefore, the conclusion is that the large meteor from the asteroid belt, Rhodius, had traveled at great speed, impacted the location at an angle of 43 degrees. So back in 2020, on March 16th, 2020, from the time of my birth, I was 43 years old. In that degree, a 43 degree, because I'm 46 so far. So now I'm 46 degrees. 3 years ago, I was 43 degrees. So there was a 43 degree impact on the degrees. So again, I'm trying to read Steve Bannon's mind through the AI algorithm that computes into my brain and downloads it. And I think, all right, well, he must be talking about my age, because I am the one that did say that, and it did happen. conference. These are facts. And then the future's so bright, you got to wear shades. Jacob Israel, June 6th. And then I'm saying, hey, Paul, when are you going to go on Jacob Israel's channel? And so that's the day before I was saying, then this is the beginning of this video. Just to recap. No, Jim, Paul's future's so bright, he has to wear Vlad eyewear shades. And considering Jacob Israel is getting trolled by Elon Musk all the time, and Elon won't say that he won't comment, he should. I really think he should. And that would make me more happier if Elon Musk commented on Jacob Israel's channel. That would make me more happier if Jacob Israel commented on my channel. Even though I would get more credibility, it would make me feel better if Jacob Israel got more credibility. Because the more Elon Musk admits that Jacob Israel, even if he's the same person, is like his go-to guy, all I can keep showing you is what my connection with Jacob constantly until the end of the story. It's just for the eyes to see. I'm basically talking into thin air. I don't have anybody paying me saying, hey, Robin, great job this week. Here's your $10,000 like all my other agents get paid, just kicking their feet up on the desk, trolling you for the past years. Here, Robin, great job, buddy. Nothing's physical. It's all in spirit. And that's the X factor. That's because I know it's all in spirit. And I keep doing it for free for the past 6 years. That's just, it proves my motives for those of you that can watch me day in and day out. So, Paul, I don't know if you showed up today. I was waiting for you. He has to have his steak and chips with gravy. He has to make his coffee, too. And I'm saying, well, I'll let him slide because he was 18 minutes late. So considering I'm talking about Paul beforehand, and then Jacob Israel is saying, he said, you know, you're wearing He-Man's ring, Paul. The cross, which is a Freemason Knights Templar ring. And he's saying, I'm not trying to sell the guy out because I reached out to him weeks ago. Well, wait. The beginning is, you know, some people say Paul Begley. I've reached out to Paul, by the way. And a lot of people think we're related. We're not. We're cut from the same cloth. We're not. We have very different beliefs. Not. And I'm not selling the guy out because I reached out to him weeks ago. Say, you know, you're wearing a He-Man's ring there, boss. The Knights Templar. Because I would have then, how funny would that be? Me on Jacob Israel's channel talking about just, you know, the truth. Like if I asked a question, I would definitely get the truthful answer out loud. And I might be asking for too much, but LOL. Oh, this is John from Skywatch. Me and my brother Billy, we were lifting an oven. I was watching a Skywatch video for the first time in that moment. That's why I took a screenshot 0 seconds ago. I said, LOL, in the oven, as you speak, me and my brother was lifting the double oven in place as you spoke. The exact moment, cooking in the oven as I speak. So, you know, you think to yourself, pre-recorded video kind of reminds me of Jacob Israel's situation, but this was live without me recording anything. But me and my brother are doing something as somebody else is saying exactly what we're doing in a pre-recorded video. It's almost as if they knew that, you know, how everything's recorded our entire lives, and they already know that ahead of time, so they can say things like that. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the case with Skywatch, but I'm just saying it reminds me of Jacob Israel when I went to the Ark and the boat and get in the boat and out of the boat. And this is what you're getting. You're getting the sign of Jonah in Wildwood Nibbles Woodaway. Because look, there it is. There's the oven. That's what we were lifting. As John from Denver said that, if I didn't know any better. I am Skip's highest trained reviewer. Message hard to preach. Hard to preach is Jeremiah's message. Jeremiah 5:6. I'm your highest trained reviewer. Temple 5-6. Hard message to preach. It popped up again. I just happen to be your highest trained reviewer. 3-4. Earlier this morning, the sun, I didn't know if it was the moon or not, because you can see directly at it, kind of like the way that I'd happened to have this round thing today. And I was looking at it, and then me and my wife even seen it again. How come I can't get out of here? All right. So it's already done. Can't go any further. All right, so that's it. Because earlier, it just when you're looking at it, it seemed like the sky, that's not lighting up the entire sky. That's only lighting up the area where it's at. The entire sky is a projection color that we're seeing. And then I'm driving home. I see the Home Depot next to me, but I'm watching the video with the Home Depot hat on 95. Right before I got on 95, I seen this live in peace as long as water's running creeks, Taminant. I see that image as I have this video playing, and it has the trash can. It's just a shape, shadow, size, color. It's not even like I was playing the X app. Now I'm just keeping my eyes open for, as I'm playing, recording something or watching something. There's a possibility that things line up, and it's the craziest damn thing that I go through. Just like in Bono's video where he's leaning to this side. So who he's taking on right now is this character. But then when I lean down to show you Jesus, he leans down to now take the Jesus character. That's how I perceive it. So, because I'm in a hurry, here's your sign right here. That's all you get. Have a sea of water. So here it is. It's liquid, sea, water. Here it is. In heaven, it's a sea of glass. In heaven, I saw a door. Went through the door, and there was like a sea, like a sea of glass. You see this piece of glass? You see this? You're here at the sea. So refresh your memory a little bit. Ark of the Covenant, Tabernacle, Shiloh, middle of the country, 4 years. I went over this already, but it'd be better if I had more time to go over it slower. I like to go through things in detail, but I just have to summarize it. I do a lot of screenshots during a day, but I don't always get a chance to show them. Like Capernaum. All right, now let's go to the Garden of Gethsemane. Great drops of blood. This is where he settled in the Holy Land. Arrested, betrayed, sweat, great drops of blood. The footsteps, which reminds me of Rocky footsteps. And, Jesus is going to get arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane. That reminds me of Logan Square. Arrested. It isn't very far, less than a mile, which is exactly from Logan Square to the Art Museum is less than a mile from from Logan Square to William Penn is less than a mile because it's 1.9 miles from the bottom of William Penn to the top of the Art Museum. But that would be only if the second 9/11 happened to Philly. It would be playing that out less than a mile. Go to Israel, Golgotha. And that portion there looks like the other section behind the Art Museum where that tall thing is that comes from the ground, the book of Matthew. And 4 stops in a journey, of course, is the tomb. And then in the Logan Square, there's like a tomb. It could be Lazarus' tomb, could be the tomb of David, could be where Jesus rose up from. There's also a gate that goes down to the depths of hell. Body laid until it rose up. Very scared to go to the tomb. So I was going to do a walk back and forth in Philly to see if I can pick Paul's brain wearing the He-Man Masters of the Universe ring. So Jesus not in the tomb, he is risen from the dead and here to tell you he's alive and ascending into heaven now. Right now. The last footsteps will be his coming back to stand on Mount Olives where the rocky footsteps